Hey guys, this is Coach Jay coming back to you here from Imperium Boxing. It's been a few weeks since I set one of these videos up. We've been competing here this summer with a few fighters. We fought a couple of weeks ago, and I got another fight coming up in a couple of weeks. So I've been really concentrating on developing my fighters. I've got some good footage. I just need to sit down and put it together. But real quickly, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of counter punching. Obviously, if you know even a little bit about boxing, you understand the importance of counter punching, and you can kind of see overall the trend in fighting is going to counter punching. It's either catching and countering or it's slipping and countering. I mean, it's always been a facet of the game. It just seems like to me though, your higher echelon fighters are really starting to do that a lot more. But specifically what I want to talk to you about, and ironically, I'm going to use some examples here that are not boxing related. If you go back and watch Pena and Amanda Nunes fight for the UFC belt months back, everybody knows, if you're a fight fan, that Amanda Nunes has got, atomic bombs for her left and right hand. She's got good long wingspan, and she knows how to stretch those punches out. She keeps her fighters, or her opponents, I should say, at the end of her punches. She's very good at that. Very good at just delivering that full strike. And I wouldn't call her a one-trick pony. She's a good fighter, but she just got such knockout power. And how to beat a fighter, how to beat a puncher, is to counter, because you're not going to stop them from throwing shots. There's nothing you can do to stop Amanda Nunes from hitting you hard. The object is, don't get hit as often as all of her other opponents and you get knocked out. You're not going to take her off her game plan. Her game plan is there to come and punch you in the face and punch you really hard. Same thing in boxing. But if you watch what Pena does, she knew she couldn't stop Nunes from firing off. So she used her strength, she used Nunes' strength as a weakness, as also as an opportunity for her to fire her shots off. And what did she do? She counter jab, slip counter jab. So every time Nunes threw a jab, it's almost like they're in front of a mirror. And I really appreciated it. Pena is not the type of striker that Nunes is. She's not as polished, she's not even as good of a striker. She just wasn't scared. And she knew, like, look, if I go in this fight, I'm either going to get knocked out, or I'm going to knock her out. I'm going to subdue her. I can't stop her from throwing shots. I'm just going to have to bait her into throwing them and see what I got, see if my training holds up, and it did. Every time Nunes threw a jab, this is what Pena did. Slipped to the outside, fired a jab. Nunes threw a right, Pena counters, slips to the outside, fires her right. It was a very simple but effective shot, and I can tell you why. We've been practicing that a lot in this gym the last couple of weeks. We've been focusing solely on counter punching. The reason why it's so effective, especially against a fighter like Nunes, or even maybe you find an aggressive fighter in your amateur competition, or even at the pro level. Your guys, when they're firing those 1-2s, they're snapping those jabs out. They can't wait to let this thing go. As soon as they feel this jab hitting the back glove or making contact or busting through that guard, you can rest assured this thing is coming right behind it. That's what they're trained to do. It's what they're timed to do. They already know they're going to throw this thing. They've already made mental notes. When this thing is in range, boom, they let it go. So that's how you have to approach it. That's how you have to take this stuff away from these guys, okay? When they're jabbing, they're not expecting to get jabbed back. When they're on the offense, they're expecting their opponent to be covering up, slipping, or getting out of the way. But nothing is more surprising to a fighter is when you're getting punched the same time you're punching. And it's not going to be very pleasant, mainly because you're not expecting it, okay? And 2, you're kind of coming into the shot. 3, if it happens enough, it's going to make you hesitant, okay? It's going to make your opponent hesitant to throw shots. He may not be as committed to throwing those shots. Now, you got to tell, okay? Now you gain information by doing an effective slip counter or counter jab. You've scored points. You're letting him know that his game plan is all wrong. 3, you're going to make him hesitant. Now you can start timing him. Then you can start manipulating him, okay? You're going to take some of that away from him, and now he's fighting your fight versus you fighting his fight, which is him basically keeping you at the end of his punches off an effective jab and wait for him to shoot that 2 down the middle. But guys, practice that simple drill. You can do it in your gym, you can do it with your friends, you can do it in front of the mirror, you, by all means, do it when you spar. This is how you should be doing it in your gym, especially when you're doing, when you're doing drills with one another, doing some light technical sparring. He's gonna shoot the jab, it's a slip. Everybody knows that. Shoot the jab, slip. Now, we're gonna do a counter slip. He's gonna shoot the jab, boom. Do it again, boom. So I'm slipping forward, I'm putting some pop into it. I'm not just going, boop. I'm actually slipping forward and landing a hard shot. Same thing with the right hand. He's gonna shoot the right hand, bam. Okay? Go this way. Here. Slap right hand, bam. Right hand, bam. You just slip and land over and over again. Same thing with the jab, bam. Okay? Timing is essential. Being calm in the pocket is essential. And that you develop that over repetition, okay? You start off when the stakes are low. Okay, that's just what we were doing here. That was just light. We weren't even making contact. No one should be getting hurt. And you do this until you pick up and you get a little smoother, you get a little more comfortable. Then you maybe add 20% to it. Then around 40% you put headgear and mouthpiece on, and you just practice this over and over. Then you get in the ring and you see if it works out for you, which it won't the first few times. But then it will. And you'll start implementing it, okay? All right, guys.